weekend. We had fights yesterday. We got fights today. They're going to start on DAZN here in about 45 minutes. So I'm going to stay on for a little bit. We could go over whatever questions you have about any of the fights. If you're in the Discord, if you're a Patreon, I already posted 7 tickets. So to join Johnny Says Boxing, become a VIP, become an insider. The link is pinned right there. It's a couple bucks a month. Gain access to our professional betting Discord. Become one of our members. We're 355 JSB insiders. We're approaching 400, which is another great milestone. And it's all because of you guys. So thank you. Let's get this show on the road. There's some interesting fights going down in Mexico today. So if you check some of the parlays I posted, if you have any questions, just ask about that. Yo ass better call somebody. Boom, 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 boom. Do 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 do. Share screen. We're gonna pull up the odds and see what the action is looking like. Be patient, my friends. Boxing. Guys, as you're tapping in, could you like this video? Let me know where you're coming from. All the JSB insiders, we up and we're still good. All right, let's get to it. If you are having fun in life, guys, we have to make some adjustments. Life is short. Life is beautiful. My favorite quote, life is play. Remember that. No matter how stressful you get, man, life is play. We're only here for a short time, so let's have a good time. Julius, my guy. Dr. J in the house. Mr. Sharpshooter himself, the sniper. Over 10.5 Medina versus Curiel distance. Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I'm going to pull up. I'm going to go through the chat first, and then I'll show you what I got working. And like I said, they're all posted in the Discord. For all the insiders, maybe you've been traveling or you pop in and out of the live streams. I now post all of my bets, all of them, on YouTube and in the Patreon. So I no longer post the bets in the Discord. Okay? So if you want to look at my bets right now, go to the members only section on YouTube. Fun fact, Brandon Figueroa's parents were born where I'm staying at. I like it. Dwayne, who you going for in this fight? Where's your money at? Figgy or Ball? Let me know. Yeah, yo. What's up, yeah, yo? Nick Ball by decision. That is a popular pick, my friend. That is a popular pick. It's going to be a fun fight. I don't blame you wherever you go with your pick. It's going to be a fun fight. That seems like, yeah, that's a popular pick. He's the favorite. You know, neither guy has been stopped. Yes. Yeah. The Road Dogg, Jesse James. Tag team champion of the world. The Road Dogg, Jesse. The badass Billy Gunn. Yeah. The OG phase, man. That's when life was simple. Money Meech. Money Meech needs his own intro song. Little Showtime, Money Meech. Will in the house. What's up, buddy? Tampico, Tamaulipas, Mexico. Dwayne, you're still in camp? How's the boxing going? And what are the gyms like down there? Like how's the training going down in Mexico, brother? All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. All work and no play. Yeah. Morning, lads. What's up, Jay Sai? We got Nick Ball in the house. Ball been protected since he became champ. I'm not mad at that statement, guys. You know, what do we always say? Stats don't lie. We have a look at who he's been fighting. He's been bringing up guys from 122. He's been fighting 37-year-olds. Look, he's active, but it's interesting to say, for me, all of the people who pile on about Brandon and Brandon's style and how that style doesn't age well, It's the same. It's very similar to Nick Ball. They both get hit a lot. They both, are styles are kind of similar. Yeah, I've never been 100. I've never been 100% sold on Ball. And people are like, oh, he what are the two most common narratives? Brandon shot. This is what people say. That's what you guys are saying. And then he hasn't looked good in his recent performances. He beat Jowett in a close fight. And then he lost to a guy, in Fulton, his only loss. He lost to him twice. And I think people compare what he looked like against Fulton the first time, in which a lot of people think he won, versus what he looked like to Fulton the second time. And they use that, the how that fight looked. Every fight is different. They use that to hypothesize that, wow, this is him degrading, with no mention of maybe Fulton did something different in the game plan. Maybe Figueroa had a bad camp. We do know this. The facts are this. He did leave his father. He left his camp, and he's been training with Manny Robles. And when I watch all of the other YouTube content creators week in and week out, and they give their, even talking heads with, massive followings, maybe this is because I'm a coach and I'm a lifelong athlete and I train myself and I train athletes. I train clients. I work out every day. Maybe nobody ever talks about the coaching side of things when you're looking at breakdowns. I do. I think it's what guy is being coached by who, especially if there's a camp change in reference to making a career adjustment. I think that's a very valuable talking point, and I think it's relevant. So when people say that Brandon Figueroa isn't switched on, or he's here for a payday, or he's shot, I'm like, that's not the actions of a fighter who leaves his original camp to seek out new beginnings. That's the sign of a hungry guy. And if you watch the weigh-ins, which I'll play, he looked great on the scales. I thought he looked great on the scales. Let's all say it together. Johnny says boxing. Let's go. We all say boxing. Why? Because boxing's the best sport on earth. I'm Brandon, but I think Ball will win. Let's see how Brandon adjusts to Nick Ball's pressure and his loss to Fulton. Yep. Narrative. Thoughts on Ball Figueroa to go the distance. You figure Ball's undefeated. Figueroa has never been dropped, never been stopped, never even really been rattled. I think the distance is a safe play. Still in camp. The boxing gyms here are great. Great training, great sparring, and great road work. I'm sparring three-minute rounds with 1 minute rest. Nice. Definitely. That's great work, brother. Make sure you focus on your recovery, too. It's a side of the game that a lot of people don't talk about. For all the hard rounds you put in, for all the hard miles, outdoor road work miles you put in, you got to fill your cup as well with the recovery side. So massages, float tanks, saunas, acupuncture, all that good stuff. Mobility, yoga. If you have somebody near you that to take you through the system. What's up, Johnny? Do you see any knockdowns in the Ball versus Fig fight? It's a tough one, man. It's tough to get fancy with props in matchups in which we've never seen either guy dropped before, but I can see a path to somebody getting dropped because both of these guys fight in the phone booth. Both of these guys, one averages, anywhere between 70 and 90 punches a round thrown, and the other guy is right below that. So it's going to be nonstop action. It's on you, man. I'm not playing a knockdown prop, but I wouldn't be shocked, man. Nothing shocks me in boxing. Why was Fig on your Brandon Figueroa and Omar Figueroa both came as a combo on my no bet list in recent years. The no bet list really started when Omar fought Abel Ramos. So back in a couple years ago, and Abel's tough, but this was just a decision I made. Watching Omar just change his fight style against Abel in that sort of like that thing he was doing. He was cutting the distance doing this and getting, boom, teed off. I was like, what the hell? And then, I watched Brandon have I think I bet on Brandon to get a stoppage, and he won like a close decision. And it was like back-to-back performances. I was like, that's it. No more for me. I'm out on the Figueroa. They're both on my no betting list. So it started with Omar, and then that kind of trailed into Brandon. But then, having watched tape on this fight and me doing what I do, I see a path to victory for Brandon. I'm a big fan of Coach Robles as well. I like the work that he's done with fighters. Even in the last, we'll say, 12 to 18 months, his guys will go in as sort of underdogs, and they win. Resendez versus Caleb Plant. Resendez was what, a minus or a plus 500, maybe plus 600. The reason why that's relevant is because that's the mindset. Certain coaches, not only, Robles has great game plan execution, the preparation, but when, the mental work as well, getting his fighters ready mentally, no matter if they're a big underdog, going in, because guys, at the highest level, it's pretty much skills will cancel each other out. If you're making it to a world title fight, usually skill set will cancel each other out unless you're going up against a savant, somebody who is like the best in the world at whatever they do. So if skill sets throughout a fight are canceling each other out, what is the X factor? The psychology of a fighter, the mindset of a fighter, how much this fighter can overcome adversity in a fight. A lot of that has to do, and a lot of that is learned in preparation, in a camp, in the conversations with your coach in training, and the conversations with your coach out of training. All of this stuff matters. And so I see a path to victory. I see a 29-year-old kid who's a former world champion, who reads the comments on social media, who comes from a fighting family, who has been told that he's done, has been told that he looks washed, has been told that he's going to get steamrolled by a Brit in his backyard. And I think all of that makes it for a perfect storyline for Figueroa. I watched the weigh-ins today. I was waiting to see if he looked drained. He looked good. He looked filled out, and he's gonna rehydrate. He's gonna put more weight on before fight night. And I think it's a perfect storm stylistically as well. He's not gonna have to run after and chase Nick Ball. Nick Ball's gonna be there, and Figueroa could crack. Figueroa, people act like he doesn't have power. Figueroa could punch. And he's super durable. You have a Mexican-American fighter who's super durable, who could punch, who's never been dropped, who's never been knocked out, and he only lost to one guy, another former world champion, Stephen Fulton, and you're telling me he's a 3-1 underdog. What do we... This is... I was watching live stream earlier. Shout out to 3D. And some people in his chat were asking who I picked. Now, if ever you want to know who I picked, just watch my breakdowns, right? But one of the commenters was saying, oh, he picked Figgy because he said Nick Ball isn't strong. That's not why I picked Figgy. Obviously, if you follow me, you know why I picked Figgy, and I just told you why. I quoted The Shining, all work and no play makes Jack a dull. Dwayne, you're a smart kid, man. Damn, the chat's popping. Guys, we're floating between 30 and 50. Can we like this video for me? Ball can't fight on the back foot. Fig has the same reach as Spence. Yes, he does. And, watch I know they fight differently, but, Ball has been in there with a different sort of taller guy before. We saw against Ray Vargas, 5'10". Different style than Brandon. Why is that relevant? Man, I really see a lot of openings. People talk about Figueroa's chin. I'm talking about Nick Ball's body when he throws those hooks. He's coming. I'm excited about this fight. I had 4 dry knee. Perfect. So you know what time it is. So do I. My ex, she was an acupuncturist. So the worst part of us breaking up years ago, great woman, but was that I used to get acupuncture twice a week, and I kind of miss it. For years, too. I'm surprised Ball being a bit underestimated. I think it's Figueroa. You think Ball's being underestimated? Okay, that's a good take. I feel that Figueroa is being slated here. What up, player? Salute. Figueroa looks good. El Gallo Negro, I agree. I feel like Figueroa is the one who's kind of been slated. He should have been WBC champ before he won WBA. I'm not even a Nick Ball fan, but I'm pretty confident he gets his hand raised. I can see why, man. I can see why. Look, for my perspective, for things to go my way, it's gonna have to fit perfectly. Like the game plan, I'm gonna need Figueroa to at least attempt to use a jab, especially when he's getting out of range. I'm gonna need Figueroa to not stand and look at the deer in the headlights the entire fight. I want to see him use the entire ring. He sometimes will do that. We'll see. More reason is Fig has been working side by side with champions Boacek, Resendez, Nakatani. Beast mode. This is another great point. This is what I'm talking about, man. Dude, Manny Robles' stable was insane. This is just 3 guys off jump. Boacek, and think about this. Think about what Serhiy Boacek, who are Boacek's losses to? 2 are to Brandon Adams, right? Stylistically, he might just, that's a bad matchup for him. What did, myself included, I was like, Boacek looks like a shot fighter. He looks drawn out. That style doesn't age well. And then we just watched him fight against Butayev, and he looked good again. Serhiy Boacek, it was a close fight, but he didn't look like a shot fighter. Boacek fought how he always fights, and I think he put his foot right back into play at 154 pounds, even though he really hasn't made 154 in like 4 fights, 3 fights. He always weighs in at like 158, and the last fight was a catchweight. But my point is, Manny Robles is his coach, and he looked good again. There's some parallels with Boacek, with his past performances, past losses, how he looked, people writing him off. Parallels with Brandon Figueroa, and they're both coached by the same guy. Pattern recognition? I don't know. The question is, will Ball hold up the last 3 rounds? We know Figueroa will. Ball gets knockouts. Yeah, Ball's knockouts usually come by this, a product and an outcome of the style. It's not one punch sort of knockouts. He fades against world level the last 3 rounds forward. Goodman. Man, rewatch the Sammy Goodman fight. Sammy Goodman lives like 40 miles south of where I'm at, where I live right now in Sydney. He lives south near the Shire, Cronulla, maybe Wollongong. The Gong in the house. And he was this smaller guy. He was the 122 guy. He was supposed to get stopped. He was supposed to be out physicaled. He was supposed to be the smaller guy in terms of, and when you rewatch the second half of that fight, Goodman, one of the judges had a 115, 113. It was a close fight. It's not like Sam Goodman got steamrolled. What's Ball's best win, right? LeBron in the house. Love you too, brother. Ray Ford. And he's put out as well, and his output as well. He gets hit a lot, boys. So does Fig. Bets are coming in heavy on Ball. Fig is plus. Yeah, I got Fig at... Let's check. Let's check it, boys. When I placed my bet, I had him at plus 280. The lines in Sydney, at least on my book, hasn't moved much. Yeah, it's actually been exactly the same. I put my Brandon Figueroa bet in maybe 3 days ago, and I got him at plus 280, and it's still plus 280. So I don't know what books you guys are using, but it's still the same here. If you're going to bet Nick Ball, you got to get sexy with it. You can't, like the money line, Nick Ball on the money line, put it on a parlay if you like. You'd probably go Ball on points if you want to be safe. But I like Brandon. I like Brandon on points. Look at Brandon on points is ridiculous. Plus 525. That's borderline. That's borderline disrespectful. You're telling me Figueroa is a plus 525 to beat Nick Ball in a boxing match in 12 rounds to score more points. It's insane to me. We'll see how this plays out. Joe Gonzalez would be. People try to shade Joe, don't they, Julius? Thank you, LeBron. Appreciate your support. Brandon Figueroa and his older brother fight almost exactly like. Yeah, but it's what Omar was doing against Abel that was shocking me. He didn't have his guard up. He was cutting distance like this. He wasn't here. He was going like he was trying to be like cute. And Abel was just like pop, pop, pop. Give me a second. Ba, 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 ba. La, da, 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 da. I think I'm singing the Smurfs. I don't know what the hell I'm singing. Something's in my head. I went to a concert last night. PJ, how do you think Brandon gonna win knockout decision? Uh, I I mean, I don't want to disrespect Nick Ball. I mean, I have Brandon on the money line because the points are so beneficial. But if I were to go method of victory, I would go Brandon on points. And people are like, why would you go Brandon on points? It's in Liverpool. The judges, that you have to be wary of that 100%. That's why when I pick my underdogs of the week, I my unit of betting, the money line is more than enough for me. Now, if let's say like some of the fighters on our long parlay, some of the big favorites lose, and we start chasing our bets, I would take Brandon by knockout. But that I don't have that action play. It would be like a Hail Mary play. You guys know how it gets when we're chasing. You know, you something doesn't, or you're up and you got some to sprinkle. Why not sprinkle Brandon by knockout at plus 700? You know what I'm saying? And therefore you'd have to be playing, you know, your own reasoning on could Brandon win a decision in Liverpool. We've seen, it's not like we haven't seen this though. Don't you remember Bronco Lara? I mean, you know, people coming, Mexican Americans, Mexican fighters coming to the UK as the B side, as the dog in winning. There's been Mauricio Lara was one prominent example. Frankie Rod versus Galalia Phi is another prominent example. So we've seen it happen before. Recently too, and the list is great. It's a pretty big list. What's up? Let's get this money. Let's go, goated. You are goated. Fig is plus 330 on DraftKings. Wow, that's crazy. Get in there. Like I said, we got him at plus 280 down here in Australia. Beast mode. I also seen an interview with Frank Warren. They asked, and I quote, "If it wasn't mandatory, would you have made a voluntary defense with Brandon?" He said quickly he wouldn't have. Goes to show even the promoter knows. It's a dangerous fight for Nick. They've been moving. I feel that, I mean, it's not shocking. Each fighter has to get moved accordingly, right? There's only a handful of fighters ever who were so malleable you could put them up against anybody. You know, usually this is why styles make fights. That term came because it's true. Fighters have to get moved accordingly. PJ, what other underdogs you was talking about? I can't find it. Let's pull it up. Okay, PJ. So this is a fight, and I broke this down on the live yesterday. And PJ, I put all my picks up on YouTube, mate. So you could find my underdog of the week under members only section on the channel. Have you guys taped this fight? So I have action on this fight. Abraham Cordero is a dog here. I think he's super live. I got Cordero here against Ezekiel Martinez. Now, Cordero, we've seen him before. This is the guy who fought Angel Fierro. Fierro is the guy who some people say beat Pitbull, fought Pitbull really well. They wanted to see that rematch. And Cordero fought Fierro in the first 3 rounds, was getting the best of him. And then Fierro got disqualified. So that was Cordero. He beat him. He's the dog here. I think he's live, so I got action on him. We want to see Nick Ball versus Shushu. You think that's the money fight? Nick Ball versus Shushu? I don't know. I want to see Shushu versus Rafa, or Shushu versus Angelo Leo. I'm not excited. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just shading Nick Ball. I don't like his style is a bit. It's not a pretty style. He kicks people. He headbutts people. He elbows people. Like, he's a bit dirty. He'll hit you in the D. Like, I'm more of like a craftsman of the sweet science. I like the artistic side of fighting. You know what I mean? I like high-level operators. Nick Ball is literally, his nickname's Wrecking Ball for a reason. He's a brute. He's a 5'2" brute. It's his style. It works for him. He's a world champion. Personally, optically, I don't like that style. You know, I like guys. I like guys who are a little bit more technically put together. I'd love to see Shushu Carrington versus Rafa. I'd like to see Shushu Carrington versus Leo. Um, we'll see. We'll see. Ray Vargas. Ray Vargas is another 5'10", 126-pounder. What's happened to him? He's been put on the shelf. They have him listed as champion in recess. What's up, Rando? Still good. PJ, you know you're a Philly guy. I live in Australia. It's called Sportsbet. I think Rafa stops everyone. I think Rafa stops most guys. I would. He's one of my favorite fighters. I would be torn if they make a Rafa versus Bruce fight though, because I'm a fan of both guys. I would love to break that tape down. Give you my prediction. I'm a big fan of Carrington. The last few fights we've hit money on. We were a couple fights ago when he was plus 600 to win on points. We hit on that. And then his last fight by knockout, we hit on that as well. I think we got him at maybe plus 350. I put the receipts are up on the channel. I'm a big fan how Carrington operates. Julius in the house. Julius, the sniper, the sharpshooter, Dr. J. Oh yeah, dirty fighting, anything to win. I like it. Yeah, get in there. Do you think Roby? I heard he wasn't, man. That bums me out too. One of my guys from Philly, actually. Shout out to Keith. Keith is a Philly guy. He's my age, and he's close with a lot of. He's close with the boys from the Bozy Dungeon, and he was telling me that after Robeisy Ramirez is done. It's crazy to see how quick that fall off was because he was up on the it's crazy how slippery a boxing career can be. Because Rafa was down. Rafa had in the first fight. Rafa had to come back on the cards and was down. And dude, one of the greatest stories of that year. And Robeisy was never the same. And got stopped the second time. Robeisy was never the same. Really wish they would have made Anthonyjoshua, good call. Yeah. Can Warrington beat Wood? Oh, I don't know, man. We got some good Brit fights. We got Warrington versus Wood, and we got Kakachi versus Jazza. So you guys know me. I love the British fights. I love the Brits. You know, my former roommate was from the UK. I got a lot of love for probably because I live in the Commonwealth. I live in Australia as a Commonwealth. You know what I mean? But I love the UK. Jazza Dickens versus Kakachi's coming up. Lethal Lee Wood versus, and last time we saw Lee Wood, he moved up to fight Kakachi and he got stopped. And Warrington is kind of working on making a renaissance run, sort of rejuvenating his career. And you just, with Warrington, you always wasn't it Bronco Lara who went into the Warrington fight as a huge dog? That was kind of started the whole sort of degradation of Warrington's shine. But he's coming off a win, looked in shape, looked focused and switched on. We'll see. It's a great fight. It's a fun fight. I love this shit. There's nothing better than boxing. I fucking love this shit. I love talking to. Dude, we could talk boxing all day, boys. Yeah, he did that counter, bro. And just the whole. I wouldn't judge you if you really didn't know who Rafa Espinoza was before the first Robeisy fight. You know what I mean? It's what makes our sport so unique, unlike any other sport, because you have the only thing that is happening during the fight is there's a ring, the bell rings, the fight starts, and you have two men with two fists. Who's the better man? And on any given night, somebody could change their life forever. And Rafa, not many people were expecting him to beat. He was put there not to beat Robeisy Ramirez. And mate, and then you start seeing how Rafa operates outside of the ring, and he's a man of faith and family. I remember when he stopped Edward Vasquez in a brutal beatdown, You know, he goes to the hospital with him, and it just seems like an all-around great guy. Great for the sport. Rafa's a really, really good guy to cheer for. What's up, King Louie? It's pinned here. I'll put it in the group again, brother. It's a couple bucks a month. You join here, and then you could join on Patreon. Give me 1 second. And then once you join, you get access to our Discord. It's pinned in this comment section. It's on my channel. There you go. I just posted it for you. For all you boys who want to get into the Discord, the link's right there. Once you join, you'll also have access to my channel on YouTube for all the members-only content. That's where all of my picks, parlays. There's 7 tickets up there right now as we speak. Tomorrow night, Figgy will have a massive weight and size advantage. Let's go, Puncher. Me too, man. I got that. I got that play too. I got Figgy on the money line. Jack Turner knockout. I'm calling it. Hey, we got receipts, brother. We got receipts. What's your opinion, Hutch? I love this fight. I think Duarte moneyline 3 is a real steal. I like both guys. Look, I'm just going to say it now. You guys know how I feel about Oscar Duarte. I'm a fan. Very determined guy in there. I love a guy who could rebuild themselves back up after a knockout loss. He's looked great. He's looked phenomenal. He's in his physical prime. You could see how switched on he is. I just think Richardson Hitchens is that dude. I think Duarte's style, what he wants to do and achieve on offense. I think a fighter, somebody who has a jab like Hitchens, somebody who's that technical with the hand speed, who uses the entire ring, who won't just stand there for an extended period of time, who won't keep his back on the ropes like Kenny Sims did. I think that Duarte style is going to make Hitchens look good. I like this fight. I'm not going to give you my prediction yet, but stylistically, Duarte, he's going to have to fight. He's going to have to fight a very specific fight to beat Hitchens. I think I rate Hitchens. I think he's that dude. I think people sleep on him still, even after what he did to George. I think people still are going to sleep on him. He's one of those guys. I'd like to see. I can't wait to see this fight. We got to see this fight first. I can't wait to see Andy Hiroka versus Gary Antoine Russell. Dude, 140 pounds. I can't wait to see what they do with Dalton next. Dalton Smith, man, if you're listening. Dude, I had no idea he was that brave. Dalton Smith, to me. Now I see why his fans back in the UK call him Thunder for Gotti. I didn't see it in the Matthew Germain fight. I didn't, but then again, Matthew Germain didn't fight him to win. He fought him to survive. The way Dalton was catching countering Subriel is, I talked about it last night on the live show. I'm a fan. So the 140-pound division, there's so many good fights to be made there. And we have good fights. Like I said, Hiroka versus GAR is next. Hitchens versus Duarte is coming. I want to see Sandor Martin active. People like Sandor Martin is a guy. He's sort of a sleeper in that division. He always gives people tough fights. I want to see what they do with Alberto Puello. If Puello has a fight, because 5'9" southpaw with a long reach who's slick. That's a difficult task. Venado versus Warrington. Sandoval. Sandoval is another guy we don't speak about him enough. Eric Robles versus Lee McGregor, notable Mexican. Okay, there you go. Venado Warrington, Sandoval Robles. Ricardo Sandoval. I remember that fucking fight. Notable Mexican upsets in the United Kingdom. There you go. Do you think Louis Nery versus Nick Paul would be a good fight? I mean, Nery's a little bit up there now. When did I think Brandon knocked Nery out in 2021? People were like, what's Nick Paul's best win? Ray Ford. But wasn't that... And Ball, who did Ball drew with Vargas? 2021, 5 years ago, man. Time is a fickle bitch. Brandon Figueroa, Luis Nery was undefeated. Figueroa not only beat him, but stopped him. They've been flirting Perro Crocker here in Sydney for the last, 7 days. I've been seeing it marketed, but we haven't got a venue yet, and we haven't got a date yet. Maybe if you guys heard anything, is this breaking? But, it's... I don't like what I saw from Liam against David Pepot. I wasn't comfortable. Granted, it was Liam's first fight at 47, and he looks like he's filling out good, but he looks small, man. That 40 to 47, 7 pounds, is one of those jumps in weight classes, which I feel is one of the most difficult ones, going up like that, because usually guys at 40 have come from 30, 35, and if you're coming from 30, going from 30 to 47, I mean, only a handful of guys could do that, Crawford being one of them. That's what makes Bud so special. But David Pepot was this, Frenchman. He was just his size. Liam was really struggling with Pepot's size. So we're going to see. I don't know. Liam might be like one of these in-betweener guys. 40, a little bit too big for 40, but a little bit too small for 47. We'll see. Duarte, my guy, he ain't going to be scared. Nah, he's not scared. No way. I've seen him fight in Chicago, bro. It's like a mule. Yeah, that's great. So you were at the Kenny Sims Jr. fight. Oh, Duarte said nobody's scared. No one's scared. Hitchens he's going to be more of a technical operator against that style. It's going to be one guy coming forward, another guy trying to counter, using his jab. But the thing about Hitchens, though, man, when he starts cooking, a couple jabs landing, he's moving off to the right, he's coming back, catching an angle, hitting you with a counter. He's pretty to watch, man. Watch his tape. Yeah, Bronco Lara Warrington too. Yes, sir. That shocked all of us. The Bronco Lara one. Mauricio Lara. I remember double checking. I was like, is this Arislandi Lara? I was like, no, the wrong division. I was like, Bronco Lara, Mauricio Lara. But yeah, we were all shocked when that happened. Great fight. It's Nahir Albright versus Frank Martin. Great fight. Frank looked good in his last fight. Bartholomew, seen better days. I like optically what Frank looked like, though. You know what I'm saying? Like how he filled out, the energy he fought with. He's a devil. He's an X factor, too. He's a guy that he kind of flies under the radar. Nahir Albright got some craft to his game, though. He's a good boxer. It's a good fight. I'll come over for Paro Crocker. We should get a session. Let's do it. That'd be dope. Crocker lucky to be where he is. Mate, I know. Both Patty Donovan fights. Even the last Patty Donovan fight, I'm still salty about that. Yes, Patty got dropped twice. But other than, round 1 and round 3, the 2 times he got dropped, Patty Donovan won the entire fight. It was almost like Patty was winning, I don't want to say every exchange, but Crocker fought. People were like, oh, it was a smart fight by Lewis. Lewis fought so negative. He just fought on the ropes the entire time. It worked when he caught Donovan coming in the 2 times, and he had him hurt really bad in one of the knockdowns. Shout out to Patty for recovering. But I thought Donovan won that fight. What's your take on Christian Medina? You know I got action on that. Let's pull it up. Did you see my pick? You know I got action on Christian Medina. Let's pull up the odds. Okay, so full transparency, guys, because I put the bet that I shared for the Patreon boys as Christian Medina. Okay, in the Patreon I took Medina by knockout, but I got him by knockout at $1.87. He's dipped to $1.53 there. So I do have a play with, I have Medina by knockout as just a prop. And then I have Medina on the money line. Curio, I think, has only been stopped once, so it's a prop play. Not really a great value play. I call it a prop play. So both guys are tough. Both guys are durable. I mean, the points look good too, though, boys. I mean, why not hedge? Why not do another prop? If if you look at my tickets, I got 7 tickets going in the my bets right there. But those are the ones I share. Ryan Barrios, I think it goes the distance. What's up, Chris? I'm torn on this fight. You know why? Because it's hard for me to get behind Ryan. It's hard for me to get behind Ryan based off of just my own ethics as a man, how I operate as a human, right? But I work a lot with my own personal ethics to not judge people. I think that's as a man, as we get older, I think it's very important for us individually to have these. It's one of the things that I work on every day, to not judge people. Who the hell am I to judge anybody? You know what I mean? So, with what I said about Ryan, and you guys know, I don't have to explain it to you. And with how Mario Barrios, everything he's been through in his career, Garcia has looked really switched on, at least what they're showing us on social media. In camp, physical-wise, he's going to be smaller in there. I think Barrios is the bigger dude, the longer dude. I think Barrios is the better boxer. I think Garcia, man, you plan for the left hook. It's like any fighter with a half-average fight IQ will be able to parry and then avoid hooking with the hooker. With Ryan, you just don't hook with the hooker. You know what I mean? I think Barrios. I think I'm expecting good things from Barrios. Right now, I'm leaning Mario. Spot on, Johnny Stylist. The nightmare for Duarte. Gonna run into. Yeah, that's what I see with Hitchens. Magic Kush. What's up, Johnny? What do you think about Cole Murphy fight versus John? Yeah, I've been watching I haven't taped either guy, but I've been watching the media on these guys. There's a lot of vitriol behind this fight. I'll feature it on the channel, big dog. There's a few of the boxing. It might be Matchroom or Queensberry. One of the UK boxing channels I follow has been doing this series, these media interviews of these guys. I've been watching it. John, pretty intense matchup going into this fight. Dude, I love the greatest sport on earth. Are you watching the Mexican card stream in Discord? Are the boys streaming it? I'm gonna watch it, guys, on DAZN. But I'm gonna see if Kyle. Shout out to Kyle Hayden. He's in our Discord. He streamed the Canada card yesterday. I'm gonna check real quick. I'll put a message in there right now, Magic. I'll message in the Discord to see if anyone's going to stream the fights. Anyone have links or streaming the Mexican card? All right, Kush. I just messaged the Discord. Let's see what Kyle's doing. All right, we'll see. If you're in the Discord, check in a couple minutes. They might get the stream going. Garcia too busy getting. Yeah, I know. In the coach in me, the conservative sort of ethical minded part of my brain is all Mario Barrios, how he operates. Really, it's high-level boxers with Latin American heritage. Christopher Rosales versus Patty Bourne. Ha, 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 the sharpshooter. Dude, we have another list. This is another list. We have our Olympian list. We have our amateur pedigree guys who get pushed way too quick list. Andy Cruz, Galalia Fai, etc. That's one of our lists. Now we also have this list, the Latin American heritage list. We could call it the Latin American British heritage list, whatever we want to call it, in which the Latin American fighter goes to the UK as the B-side, as a substantial underdog, and wins. This is pattern recognition. This is it's one of the things that makes what we do fun. This is why I call us archaeologists, because we're all digging and searching and researching, and finding angles and finding something that someone overlooked. It's why what I said earlier about the breaking down the tape, how when I'm watching content creators who are boxing talking heads and nobody's talking about what camps they come from. What camp a guy comes from is super significant. Who you're sparring with. What is your game plan going to be? Are you coachable? Does your coaching camp have a history of success? Are you at an elite camp getting elite sparring? Are you the A side in all of your sparring sessions? You know what I mean? Some guys, some champions get to a certain level where some guys might not be sparring. Some guys don't want to be the nail anymore when they've been the hammer. Some guys want to just be the hammer. It's tough out there, boys. But I think camps matter. Goyaz. I forgot it. Dude, Goyaz almost killed us. Versus Lindolfo Delgado. Fucking Goyaz. He's on my no bet list. Lindolfo Delgado. No bet list. I guess we'll see if Duarte runs into trouble, but Duarte not Gustavo Lemos plus Duarte and Robert Garcia. This is a good point. RGBA is a dog. They got all dogs there. They have some of the best prospects too. Chop. Every time I check, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know he was at Robert Garcia. I didn't know he was an RGBA guy. They got some good prospects. King Louie, welcome to the squad. King Louie, I'll send you via Patreon message. I'll send you the Discord link, all right? I cannot wait to break tape down on this fight. I cannot wait to do my prediction. I'm a fan of both guys. Sugar Nunes, mate. Been winning money on Sugar Nunes for the last 2 years. Navarrete. Vaquero. Mate, it's gonna be fan-friendly firefight. 2 Mexican savages. Poor Charlie Suarez. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm leaning Navarrete. Yeah, Navarrete there's going to be some sort of headbutt, elbow, a mouthpiece might get thrown into this. Something always happens in these Navarrete fights. And this is one of my favorite things about my channel is that I get early reads from you guys. You got there's a lot of casuals out there, a lot of trolls out there. But there's a lot of smart boxing heads out there, and we got a lot of them on the channel. And so I'm getting an early read now, Kush. John O'Carroll can box. I saw his fight versus Devin Farmer. 12 good rounds, and he won. They're really high on Carl Murphy, though. It could be a robbery. Okay. It's definitely on my radar. I'm definitely going to break this fight down. And you've definitely got me excited about it. They gave Farmer the nod. I have to rewatch it. Need to move Navarrete on. I mean, is he just going to stay at 130? He walks around at like 165. He's massive. Time to hand the title to Sugar. Sugar's smaller. Sugar's a bit tiny. I emailed you for Discord. You haven't got me back. What do you email me? What's your email, Moo? I'll get back. Sent. Are you Ray Mestad? Are you Ray? Because I emailed you yesterday. Let me know if you're Ray. Because somebody emailed me under the hi Ray, welcome. Here's the link. Yeah, let me know what your email is, mate. Because I get email. I run a business, a coaching business, so I'm emailing people all day, every day. I did email somebody named Ray yesterday with the link. Just let me know if that's you, brother. And my bad, I'm not getting back to you. All of my picks, though, are up on YouTube. All of my picks are on the Patreon. The Discord is the community. You get access to all the boys, all the betting channels. Guys, I want to give a look ahead a bit. In Australia, we got AFL coming, Australian rules. We have NRL coming, rugby league. I'm a fan of both. I got tickets. I got season tickets to the Sydney Swans, so I watch the AFL, and I got tickets to the West Tigers here. There's I don't live too far away from the Leichhardt Oval, so I'll be launching the AFL channel on the Discord. I'll be launching the NRL channel on the Discord. Major League Baseball starts in April. We'll be launching that as well, and F1. So it's not just boxing in there. Nunez, I didn't want to say it, but the Nunez we were expecting against Christopher Reyes, didn't he look predictable? I felt like with going into the Reyes fight, especially how he looked in Japan, and that aura about Sugar Nunez with the knockout to win ratio and that aggressive style. But against Reyes, he kind of looked like he had one. He didn't look like he had the same snap on his punches. Something looked a bit different. Good luck, everyone. Yeah, guys, I'm going to lock it down. I'll see you guys in the next one. Email me if you need the Discord link. If I didn't get back to you, my bad. Check your email, big dog. I think you are. The emails I just sent out yesterday for all the links were for Ray Mestad, John Saint 97, Sidney Davis, Barry Shields, Matthew Oder, Joseph Peters, Gunnar Omerson, Samuel Omamfama. Yeah.